Translation purport by Jagis of Achinaranda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no beginning and no end, no exterior, no interior, no front and no rear. In other words, he is all-pervading because he is not under the influence of the element of time. For him, there is no difference between past, present, and future. He exists in his own transcendental form at all times. Being absolute beyond relativity, he is free from distinctions between cause and effect. Although he is the cause and effect of everything, that unmanifested person who is beyond the perception of the senses had now appeared as a human child, and Mother Yashoda, considering him her own ordinary child, bound him to the wooden mortar with a rope.
Translation over. Purport also. Only translation. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In Bhagavad Gita 10.12, Krishna is described as the Supreme Brahman, Param Brahma Parandhama. The word Brahma means the greatest. Krishna is greater than the greatest, being unlimited and all-pervading. How can it be possible for the all-pervading to be measured or bound? Then again, Krishna is the time factor. Therefore, he is all-pervading, not only in space, but also in time. We have measurements of time, but although we are limited by past, present, and future, for Krishna, these do not exist. Every individual person can be measured, but Krishna has shown that although he also is an individual, the entire cosmic manifestation is within his mouth. All these points considered, Krishna cannot be measured. How then did Yashoda want to measure him and bind him? We must conclude that this took place simply on the platform of pure transcendental love. This was the only cause. Advaitam achyutam anadim anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Everything is one because Krishna is the supreme cause of everything. Krishna cannot be measured or calculated by Vedic knowledge. Vedeshu Durlabham. He is available only to devotees. Adurlabham Atma Bhakto. Devotees can handle him because they act on the basis of loving service. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha. Thus Mother Yashoda wanted to bind him. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 9, called Mother Yashoda binds Lord Krishna. And in this verse, the position of Krishna is described. Very often in the Srimad Bhagavatam and in the Bhagavad Gita, we are reminded of Sri Krishna's position. Who is Krishna? Who is this personality? What is his nature? What is his situation? How does he exist? Actually, this is in preparation for us to go to the spiritual world. These literatures are preparing us to go to the spiritual. Just like, suppose a young student gets admission in some foreign university, like it happens, it must have happened to some of you. Before that, you might have heard of that university, but never bothered. But now when you have got admission, you'll start getting into everybody in the family starts getting into the details. Where will you stay? Where will you eat? How is it? Is it safe? What hostel is there? What department? What professor? How many students? You see? Because you have to go there in a few days or a few weeks. You want to know more about that situation there. In the same way, if it is our interest to go to the spiritual world, we would want to know the situation of Krishna, the position of Krishna, what is the spiritual world like. But mostly we are not interested in spiritual. That's why all this looks so much information. Because of our disinterest. Whereas our interest is here more. If you're going to some other city or some other place, we'll be interested to gather information about that. That is why Krishna says in the Gita, after speaking this knowledge, he says, 4 kinds of people don't share this knowledge. Idam te na tapaskaya, na bhaktaya kadachana, na cha shushrushavē vāchyam, na cha mam abhyasuyati. 4 kinds of people. Number 1, idam te na tapaskaya, atapaskaya. Those who are not austere. Austerity is a beginning of purification. Austerity is accepting some inconvenience for the body voluntarily. Just like today's Ekadashi, we will be fasting voluntarily we will be accepting. So that is a beginning of purification, and that somebody is taking up austerity is an indication that he has developed some inclination to know more about the Supreme. Na abhaktaya, those who are not devotees, they cannot understand this. Krishna also says, Bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hetad uttamam. You will understand, Arjuna, I am sharing this knowledge with you because you are a bhakta, a devotionally inclined person. So, if somebody is not a devotee, do not share. Nacha shushrusha vachyam. Shushrusha, ashushrusha. Shushrusha means eager to know, interested to know. Oh, who is Krishna? What is Krishna? You see, eagerness to know. And mamchayo abhyasuyati, and asuyati, abhyasuyati, one who is not envious of me. So Krishna says, don't share this knowledge with those who are not austere, who are not devoted to me, who are not eager to know me, and who are envious of me. So our eagerness to know Krishna's situation, Krishna's position, and then obviously part of that inquiry is what is the qualification to go there? Sometimes people aspire, they read Vedic literatures and they aspire to become scholars of Vedic literatures. They're very learned, they can quote shlokas, they can explain shlokas. Srila Prabhupada did not place importance to such scholarship. Prabhupada said there are so many scholars, we want devotees. You see, Prabhupada didn't pay much attention to that. This shows how much Srila Prabhupada is a genuine, fully realized, fully situated representative of Krishna. He knows the heart of Krishna. Krishna is not impressed with your scholarship. So many scholars Krishna has inspired in forgetfulness of him also. So many big professors, so many big talented people who write, who compose. All such people are there in the world. Buddhir buddhiyatanasmi tejasvinamaham. All that buddhi, all that ability coming from Krishna only. Krishna is the master of all this. Hence, he is not attracted to that. There is a saying, a confectioner is not attracted to his own sweets, or something like that. He's making every day so much sweets. He's not attracted to it. So, in the same way, Krishna is not attracted by these things, scholarship, all these things. Krishna is captured by devotion. And that is what is being taught in this chapter of the Bhagavatam. And this chapter describes that how in the previous verses we have seen how Krishna was fearing. There were tears in his eyes because Krishna saw Mother Yashoda was holding a stick and she was gathering some ropes. He became scared. And he's rubbing his eyes, and Mother Yashoda had applied mascara And that mascara is all spread on his cheeks. And he's having tears and fearful of Mother Yashoda. Now, who is this Krishna who is fearing Mother Yashoda's stick in her hand and a rope in her hand? That is why Kunti Maharani mentions this in the very first canto. Gopya dade tvai kritagasi tavat yate dashashru kalilanjana sambramaksha. Sambramaksha means darting eyes like this, like this, like this. Because she is thinking where I'll run. Like small children, how they do. Sambramaksha vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya stithasya. Samam vimohayati bhirapiyat. That's why it is very bewildering about you, Krishna. Kunti is telling about her nephew. And very similar to this verse, na chantar na bahir yasya na purvam na pichaparam purvaparam bahischantar jagato yo jagatchayaha tam matva atmajam. That Supreme Lord, Matva, she thought, Atmajam, he is my own son. He is born of me. Actually, Krishna is not born of anybody. Everyone is born of him. But she thought, Atmajam Matva. Because he is Avyaktam, Adhokshajam, Martyalingam. Martyalingam. You see how Prabhupada carefully translates these words? Appearing as a human being. Martya is a mortal. Lingam, form. Appearing as a human being, although he is adhokshajam. Gopika ulu khale dhamna babandha. Gopika, referring to Yashoda Maya, ulu khale. That grinding mortar, Damna with the rope, Babandha bound him. Prakritam yatha, as if he was an ordinary child. So, Srila Prabhupada is describing in the purport very nicely because the Bhagavatam is contrasting the two verses 13 and 14. 13 and 14 also part of it, describing the position of Krishna. The whole universe exists in him. Krishna just displayed that in the previous chapter. The whole universe was in his mouth. Whole universe. We know the dimensions of the universe. Such a vast universe. And the universe has suns and many stars. All of them in his little mouth. And what is this mouth which can hold the whole universe? And what is that body which can hold the universe? So that is why Krishna is described as aprameya, immeasurable. So that Lord, Mother Yashoda, Babanda, bound with a rope which she found in her house. So what is going on here? So Prabhupada is clarifying in the purport, Krishna cannot be measured, Krishna cannot be bound, Krishna cannot be captured. But he was captured, he was bound because of her love for him. That was described in the previous verse. Arbhaka Vatsala. Vatsala, Vatsalya is that Vatsalya Rasa, Arbhaka to that small boy. So that is why Prabhupada is quoting this verse. Vedeshu durlabham, adurlabham atma bhakta. Krishna cannot be captured intellectually by mastering the Vedic literatures. He can be captured by bhakti. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha. Tato mam tattvato natva vishate tadanantara. See, all these are very nicely explained by Krishna in the Gita. That is why Prabhupada said Gita is the science of God. We must know the science of God. Sometimes in our country, Hindus, they say, oh, Krishna, I like Krishna because he's very approachable. He's just like us, just like our child, etc. They make up like that. Anyway, it's a sentiment. But in Vedic, in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, we want to have a more rigorous and exacting understanding, not some sentimental understanding. Because we are serious about understanding Krishna and Krishna's abode and Krishna's situation. And our acharyas, especially like Srila Prabhupada, he's preparing us to become qualified. Who is Krishna? What is his position? How can we actually approach him? How can we really touch him? That's the purpose even in the Bhagavad Gita. In the 14th chapter, Krishna explains, Sadharmyam agataha. I will explain to you this knowledge by which you will attain same nature of me. Mayavadis mess up all these things. They say sadharmyam means we will become God. It's a very silly understanding. Already after Krishna has shown Virat Rupa, he's saying you will all of us will have Virat Rupa. He's saying, what is this? We are Amsha. He is the Vibhu. He is the Lord. Sadharmyam means of same nature. Because if we are not of the same nature, we cannot interact with him. Like they say, royalty marries in royalty. A royal king, royal family, whom they will marry. They look, they neighbor another royal king. No, they have got a daughter. Okay, we will marry our prince to her. Because we are a royal blood. We cannot marry ordinary people. Another royal blood, we will marry. Sadharmyam. In the same way, Krishna is in the transcendental position. Unless we also rise to the transcendental position, we cannot touch him, we cannot interact with him. Prabhupada gives the example. If paper enters fire, it gets charred. If fire enters fire, nothing happens. Paper and fire are vidharma, different nature. Fire and fire, sadharma, same nature. That's why you bring one flame into another flame, both flames will interact, nothing will happen. You bring paper, it gets charred. So, mama sadharmyam agataha, when Krishna is, see again, Krishna is preparing this knowledge in this chapter, I'll explain to you by which you will attain my same nature, because in my nature, in that state, you can contact me. You can come in touch with me. So, this is how the preparation, so very clear. the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita, the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita, very few people capture that. And our parampara captures that most accurately. That is why evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu. This knowledge is received in the parampara, and in preparation for this knowledge in its form as it was coming down from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the six Goswamis, from Bhakti Vinod Thakur, all these recent acharyas, they were all preparing for launching this knowledge on a worldwide global scale. Why were they interested in spreading this knowledge globally? Just that oh, we are spread all over. No. I'll give you one example. Suppose there are only primary schools in the world. They bring children up to fifth grade, sixth grade. That's all. After that, no school. Because there are no teachers, there are no textbooks to teach seventh high school or college studies. Then you will feel very concerned, no? Say, for instance, we are a university, and we have a university, we have books, all that, and we are seeing in the whole world, there are only primary school, middle school, primary school, middle school. We will be concerned. Let us share this knowledge with everybody. Let us send teachers everywhere so that beyond middle school, let more education happen. That will be the concern of the university. Let's say there's only one place where there is a university, higher knowledge, higher education. In the same way, our acharyas, they wanted this knowledge because most religions bring to one level of God consciousness. And then there is a lot more. Krishna is eager to share that knowledge about him and prepare. There are many sincere people all over the world. That primary school is doing its work, bringing them up to one level. After that, they are getting stuck. No, this knowledge should be shared. And that's why our acharyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they all wanted this knowledge should be shared with more and more people all over the world, all genuine seekers. And that's how when Srila Prabhupada came, so many people became influenced. They were all in some way seeking God, trying to understand God, interested in God. And Prabhupada said, if we are sincere, we will attract other sincere souls. Prabhupada emphasized a lot on sincerity. He said we should chant sincerely, we should serve sincerely, we should do everything sincere. Sincerity in the purpose, because when we try to do something, immediately all our anarthas come to surface and they try to pollute our action, because our real desire is, our materialistic desire is, we want to enjoy, we want to be prominent, we want to be well known, etc. All these things will come into picture. So these are all called anarthas, and Krishna consciousness is a process. We understand the science of God, we take up the process which purifies us and prepares us to come in touch with God. So this whole thing is a very wonderful science, and it has been very responsibly brought by Srila Prabhupada in all its purity. And we have our responsibility to first of all realize this ourselves in its pure form and to share this. We cannot share it unless we are ourselves have realized and appreciated in its pure form. When you read the prayers of Srila Prabhupada, which he wrote on board Jaladuta, you will see that sincerity shining in those lines of the poem that Prabhupada wrote. So it's a very special thing. Srila Prabhupada is a very special empowered Acharya. We'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Krishna Balaram, Jai Gauranga, Lakshmi Narasimha Devi, Srinivasa.